Hello folks, this is Tom Martin. This is my lottery strategy game, Decoding the Powerball. I'm picking my numbers to the drawing on December 27th, 2017. I have 7 strategies for my game, Decoding the Powerball. So strategy number 1, the game card color code. Okay, so if you've never seen my videos before, what you're looking at is what I call the game card. This represents all 69 white ball numbers in the Powerball lottery. I really don't have anything for the Powerball itself. My goal is to get all 5 white balls correct and win the $2 million prize with the Power Play option. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to go to the Powerball homepage. And the 5 white winning numbers that just came up were the 1, 3, 13, 15, 44. Again, I really don't care about the red ball. Okay, so what I do is I take those 5 white winning numbers and I put it at the top of this list. And then I take the last 3 drawings of numbers and I transfer it over to the game card as red numbers. Then I do the same thing with orange, green, blue, and purple. I have 5 different colors, one to represent each one of the 5 white winning Powerball numbers. So for this drawing here, I have 14 red, 13 orange, 16 green, 16 blue, and 10 purple. Okay, over here to the far right is 188. This represents how many color code drawings I kept track of so far. And out of this 188, 100 have been a 3-color combination. 70 have been a 4-color combination. 15 have been a 2-color combination. And only 3 times out of 188 drawings, all 5 colors have come up together. And never has it been just one color, like all red. Okay, so this number right here, this 4, this tells me how many colors just barely came up in the drawing. So you can see that there was 1 red, 1 blue, 2 green, and 1 purple for a total of 4 colors. Okay, so since hardly ever do all 5 colors come up, the strategy is try to guess which one of these colors won't be coming up and eliminate those numbers off of the game card. So for this drawing here, I'm going to guess that no purple numbers will be coming up. And the reason why is because 1, it only has 10 colors that it represents for this drawing, okay? And 2, purple numbers seem to come up either like a group of 3 and then 2, maybe 1, okay? So it just had a group of 3 right here where the 9, 2, and 60 came up, okay? So there's a group of 3 and now it just barely came up in this last drawing. So I'm just going to guess that no purple numbers will be coming up in this drawing. So again, I'm going to eliminate the purple numbers off of the game card. Okay, so I'm going to scroll to the right. And this is what the game card looks like so far with no purple numbers to it. So when I block out a number like this, this means that I'm not even going to consider this number when I'm picking what I think will be the 5 white winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so if I'm correct in my pick and none of these purple numbers come up, then I'm one step closer to that $2 million prize. Okay, so I'm off to the next strategy. Strategy number 2, the individual numbers. Okay, so what you're looking at here is what I call the individual numbers. Okay, so how this works is the master for all the numbers are up top. Okay, and over to the far right, you can see this. These are the numbers that just barely came up, the winning numbers. Again, there are 1, 3, 13, 15, and 44. Okay, so that means it was a 4-group combination. Okay, so what that means is I'm going to reduce this down so you can see the whole card and see what I'm talking about. Okay, so you can see that there's 7 groups total here. Okay, the first group holds the numbers of 1 through 9, and then it's the teens, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s. Again, for 7 groups total. Okay, so there's only 5 white winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so 2 of these groups won't be able to have a winning Powerball number to it. Okay, so the strategy is try to guess which one of these groups won't have the winning Powerball number to it and eliminate those numbers off of the game card. Okay, so how I use this is this big square right here. This is good for 5 drawings. Okay, so I like to break things down into 5 because it usually shows me a majority of things. Okay, so here I like to use it because if there was a lot of hits in this group in the last 5 drawings, well, maybe there won't be so many in the next 5, or vice versa. Okay, so for this drawing here, I'm going to guess that no 50 numbers will be coming up. And the reason why is because a 50 number has come up in this run of 8. So 8 drawings in a row, a 50 number came up. So I'm going to guess that there's going to be at least 3 or 4 of them, 3 or 4 drawings where a 50 number doesn't come up. So I'm at the third drawing out of 5 right now, so I'm going to guess that no 50 numbers will be coming up. So I'm going to eliminate the 50 numbers off of the game card. Okay, so I'm just going to blow this back up, go back to the game card. I'm going to scroll to the right. And this is what the game card looks like so far. Again, with no purple numbers from the color code, and now no 50 numbers from the individual numbers. Okay, so basically what I'm doing here is I'm making a bet. Okay, so I'm going to be spending $3 on a ticket. Okay, so I'm betting $3 that no purple numbers will come up in the color code, and I'm going to parlay this with no 50 numbers from the individual numbers. Okay, so I'm off to my next parlay bet. Okay, in the next strategy, and that's strategy number 3, picking the numbers I hope will miss for group 1. Okay, so what you're looking at here is what I call my group 1 numbers. Okay, so what I did here is I divided the numbers into 4 different groups, and I put color to the numbers. Okay, color to the groups. Okay, so when the 5 white winning Powerballs come up and they land within these certain areas, I keep track of it down here in the stats. Okay, so I got the stats for the red area, the blue, the orange, and the green. Okay, so I have 15 of these option cards, and they all kind of look the same as far as the red, blue, orange, and green. It's just that the numbers that they represent are a little bit different from each other. Okay, so for this last drawing here, I'm going to go back to the Powerball homepage, and the winning numbers were 1, 3, 13, 15, and 44. Okay, so you can see the 1 and the 3 were in the red group, so I put 2 down here in the red. Okay, and the 13 and 15 were in the blue, so I put 2 down here in the blue. And then there was the 44 in the orange, and I put 1 here in the orange. Okay, so there's no winning Powerball numbers in the green area, so I put a 0 here. Okay, so the strategy is trying to guess where these zeros are going to be. Okay, so if I could have correctly guessed that none of these green numbers would have come up in the last drawing, I could have eliminated all these numbers and gave myself a huge advantage by choosing from less numbers. Okay, so for this drawing here, I'm going to guess that no green numbers will be coming up in this option card number 1 again. Okay, and the reason why is because over here you can see 2 zeros in a row. Okay, I think that that's due to happen over here. I think there's going to be a 0 right here. Okay, because you can see that there was a bunch of single zeros here, and I just think that is due to double up. So I'm going to eliminate these green numbers off of the game card. Okay, so you can see that there's no green numbers here anymore. Okay, so if I made the correct pick and none of these numbers come up, then I'm 1 step closer to that $2 million prize. Okay, so I'm going to go back to group 1, and the next pick I'm going to make is option card number 3, no green numbers. And the reason why I'm taking this one is because, again, there's been a bunch of single blue marks here, so I think that this is going to double up. So again, I'm going to eliminate these green numbers off of the game card. Okay, so if I'm correct with my pick, again, I'm just 1 step closer to that $2 million prize. Okay, so I'm back to group 1, and my next pick is going to be option card number 7, no green numbers. So again, I think that this is going to be a 0 right here. Okay, you can see that there's a bunch of single zeros in a row, so I think that this is going to double up. So I'm going to eliminate all these green numbers off of the game card. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far. And again, if I made all the correct picks, I'm 1 step closer to that $2 million prize. Okay, so I'm going to go back to group 1 for one last pick. Okay, one last bet. Okay, so I'm going to bet that no green numbers come up from this option card number 11. So the reason why I'm picking this is you can see that this is a single red mark right here, okay? And that happens quite a bit. When that happens, I put a 1 here, okay? So you can see it happens quite a bit, okay? So for this green area, you can see that there hasn't been a single mark until way down here, okay? So I just think that it's due to come up. So I'm going to predict that there's going to be a 0 right here. So I'm going to eliminate all these green numbers off of the game card. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far. Now, if I'm correct with all my picks, then the 5 white winning numbers should come up within the colored numbers that are still on the card, okay? And if I made the correct pick, then I'm one step closer to that $2 million prize. Okay, so I'm off to the next strategy. Strategy number 4, pick the numbers I hope will miss from group 2. Okay, so what you're looking at here is what I call my group 2 numbers. Okay, so much like group 1, where I divided things into 4 different groups, here I divided things into 8 different groups. Okay, so again, there's only 5 white winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so 3 of these groups won't be able to have a winning Powerball number to it. Okay, so the strategy is try to guess which one of these groups won't have the winning Powerball number to it and eliminate it from the game card. Okay, so I'm going to point out this red area right here. Okay, so down here's the stats form. Again, I have 15 of these option cards, and they all kind of look the same as far as red, blue, orange, green, purple, brown, gray, yellow. It's just that the numbers that they represent are a little bit different from each other. Okay, so for this drawing here, actually, down here, you can see the stats. Here's where I like to keep track of every 5, okay, because it shows me a majority. Okay, so you can see that this 0 means that none of the 5 white winning Powerballs numbers landed in this red area. And of course, this 2 means that 2 out of the 5 white winning Powerball numbers landed in that red area. Okay, so if there's 3 zeros within these 5, then I color it blue for cold, because that's the majority. Okay, so if there's 3 more hits within these 5 drawings, I color it red for hot. Okay, so that's the majority for that. So as I go back through time or see the history of this, okay, if something's going to be really hot, okay, really red, well, eventually it's going to turn blue and vice versa. Okay, so for down here, I think there's going to be a 0 right here. And if I'm correct, then none of these red numbers will be coming up in a drawing. Okay, so as I go back to the game card here, all right, I just want to point something out that with this, what I'm doing here is I'm just keeping track of groups of numbers, okay? And I'm trying to guess whether a group of numbers will be coming up in the lottery or not coming up. And right now, I'm trying to guess which ones won't be coming up, okay? So as I go back to this, if I don't think any of these red numbers will be coming up, then I'm going to eliminate the 1, 9, 17, 25, 33, 41, 49, 57, and the 65 all as a group. Okay? So I'm going to be eliminating this area plus the 25 because the 25 shares the square with the 65 here. Okay? So again, that's part of the group. So as you can see, I eliminated all these numbers and the 25, okay, because that was part of the group. Okay, so I'm going back to group 2, and my next pick is going to be number 3, no red numbers. Okay, so down here in the stats for the red, down here I think that this is going to be a 0, so I'm going to eliminate whatever red numbers are left on the game card. Okay, so you can see that there's quite a few here. So I'm going to scroll to the left, and you can see that all those numbers are gone now. Okay, so if I made the correct pick, the 5 white winning numbers should be on here with within these colored numbers. Okay, and if I made the correct pick, then I'm one step closer to that $2 million prize. Okay, so I'm going back to group 2 for one more pick. And that's option card number 7 no yellow numbers. Okay, so here's the stats for the yellow. And I think there's going to be a 0 right here. So I'm going to eliminate these yellow numbers off of the game card. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far. Okay, so that's all I'm going to pick. That's all the numbers I'm going to eliminate. Okay, so I started with 69, and now I'm down to 3, and 2 is 5, and 3 is 8, and 1 is 9. Okay, so I'm down to 9 numbers now. Okay, so to help me really pinpoint where these numbers are going to come up, I'm going to turn to the next strategy called the 50-50 picks. Okay, so strategy number 5, the 50-50 picks. Okay, so what you're looking at here is what I call the 50-50 picks. Okay, and what this is all about is, again, there's only 5 white winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so there's going to be a majority of either odd numbers or even numbers, or numbers to the high side or numbers to the low side. Okay, so I like to keep track of that and try to guess what the next drawing will be, what the majority will be for the next drawing, is what I should say. Okay, so what this means, this 232, this is how many drawings I kept track of so far. Okay, and that's since October 7th, 2015. That's when the Powerball lottery went from 59 numbers to 69 numbers. Okay, and out of this 232 drawings, 115 have been the majority of odd numbers. 117 have been the majority of even numbers. Okay, so for this drawing here, I'm going to guess that there's going to be more odd numbers than evens. I think that this goes on a little bit more of a run, and this catches up to this number over here. Okay, so the next one over here, the high-low, I think it's going to go the opposite way. I think that this is the majority will be to the low side. Okay, so I think this number is going to go a different way from this number. Okay, so two more actually. I got the majority for the left and the right side. Okay, so for this here, I think this is going to jump back over to the right side here. Okay, so I think the majority of the numbers will be over here to the, I think this is going to stay to the left, and this is going to get a little bit closer to the, I think this is going to be 115, and it's going to get a little closer to this 118 here. Okay, so my next drawing is this red and blue. Okay, so I think that the majority will be over here to the blue side just because it's so far behind on the red over here. Okay, so again, I think the majority will be to the blue. I think more numbers will land in this area than this area. Okay, so this is what I do have for the Powerball number itself. The Powerball was 25 in the last drawing. Okay, so there's 26 red numbers total. So in this column right here, a blue number means that it's low, 1 to 13, and a red means it's high, 14 to 26. Okay, and in this column over here, a red number means that it's odd, and a blue means that it's even. Okay, so for this drawing here, I think that this is going to be red, and I think that this is going to be red as well. So I think it's going to be a high odd number for the next Powerball. Okay, so as I go back to the game card here, I'm going to scroll to the right. Okay, so here's the 50-50 picks. And as I scroll down, you can see that I think there's going to be more odd numbers than even. I think there'll be more to the low than the high. I think there'll be more to the left side than the right side. And I think there'll be more to this blue area than the red area. Okay, so off to the next strategy. Strategy number 6, picking the numbers I hope will hit from groups 1 and 2. Okay, so how I do this is for this drawing here, I think there's going to be lots of blue hits in group 2. Okay, so what that means is I keep an overview of group 2. Okay, so again, I have 15 option cards, and they all kind of look the same as far as red, blue, orange, green, purple, brown, gray, yellow. Okay, so there should be, well, there is 15 red sections, 15 blue, 15 orange, green, purple, brown, gray, yellow. Okay, so this last drawing in the red sections, it had 7 red hits and 8 misses. Okay, so I'm just going to show you that real quick. Okay, so again, red, blue, orange, green, purple, brown, gray, yellow, they all kind of look the same. So again, there's going to be 15 red marks, 15 for red, 15 for blue, and so on. Okay, so the magic number here is 8, okay, because that's right in the middle of 15. Okay, so if there's 8 or more misses, I color this blue for cold. If there's 8 or more hits, I color it red for hot. Okay, so this helps me able to predict what's going to be hot and cold as a group. Okay, so I think that for this blue area, okay, I think that this is going to have a red marking here because I think there's going to be lots of hits to it. Okay, so as I go back to here, you can see that in this blue area, on option card number 1, you can see that there's a 2 here. Okay, so this is the 2. Okay, option card number 1, the only one that's left is the 2. So I marked it down here. Okay, and the next one, the blue section is here, so you can see that it's the 13 and the 16. So I marked that down right here. Okay, so that's what I did for all 15 option cards. Okay, so now I'm going to go to the next strategy. Strategy number 7, picking my numbers. Okay, so the numbers that I'm going to go with for this drawing are going to be the 2, 13, 27, 31, and 44. Okay, so by picking this group of numbers like this combination of numbers, it's going to give me 9 hits, 6 misses in this blue section. Okay, so again, what that means is that when it's here, I think that this is going to be 9, and I think that this is going to be 6 right here. Okay, again, I think it's going to be a red area. Okay, so as I go back, again, the numbers that I'm going to choose for this drawing that I hope will come up are going to be the 2, the 13, the 27, the 31, and the 44. Okay, so again, I'm going to bet $3, and I'm going to make all those parlay picks, picking all the numbers that won't be coming up. And now, again, the strategy is to pick the numbers that are left. Okay, and that's what I did here. Again, so I think the numbers will be 2, 13, 27, 31, and 44. Okay, so that will give me more odd numbers than even numbers. Okay, that will give me more numbers to the low side than the high side. That will give me more numbers to the left area. Okay, the 2, 27, and 44. And that will give me more numbers to that blue area, which will be the 44, 13, and 31. Okay, so more blue than red. All right, so that's basically how I use my game. Okay, so if you're interested in getting my game so you can pick your numbers through my game, you could go to my website at www.patreon.com/Decoding the Powerball. Or if you like, you can email me personally at decodingpowerball@gmail.com. Again, that's decodingpowerball@gmail.com. All right, folks, if you liked the video, please subscribe. Okay, and again, check out my Patreon page. All right, I appreciate you watching, and best of luck with your picks.